Like the name of the organization is the Commission Against Senseless Killings. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to make an impact on senseless killings, murder, violence, and crime that is running rampant in our cities, in our streets, in our neighborhoods, and it's killing our sons, our daughters, our brothers, our cousins. What we want to do is we want to try to put another word into the minds of those individuals who are passing by us here. We don't want to be loquacious and make a whole lot of big statements. We're saying don't kill, think. Because words make people.
Let me ask you a question. What's the name of the organization again, and how many other agencies came out with it?
The name of the organization is the Commission Against Senseless Killings. And with us today is Husbands Inc., which is a local organization that has been with us every step of the way in this work in trying to bring a little bit of resolve to some of the crime and violence that we see going on.
It could be me in here today or tomorrow. It could be one of my children. It could be you. But what I see more than anything else, I see the future. I see the lost opportunities for the young men and the young women that we lose, and future contributions that they would have made. I see buried in every casket the hopes and dreams of parents for their children. I see buried in the caskets the opportunities for the children of the young men and young women who we are burying. I see them being buried, dashed. I see the hopelessness, because we're burying hope. We're burying opportunity. We're burying the opportunities, the help, the hope for generations to come. If we don't do better, this will be us as a culture. This will be all that's left of us as a culture. And it's not going to be, the problem is not going to be solved without us getting involved. We've got to be the answer. We've got to be the solution. There's no other way. Nobody can save us but ourselves. We have to save ourselves.
All I'm saying to my people is it's time to do more than just talk about building a community. It's time to act. It's time to act.
Yes, right now.
Dope didn't get here by itself. They so entrapped into television. When we were little, we watched TV. Go outside. Help clean somebody's yard. Do something. But when I see this man doing nothing, what the boy gonna do? That's right. All I got to look up to is the TV. For the ones that's killing senselessly, when did he lose his hope? When did he lose his mind to kill another that looked like you? What is he doing? Drinking malt liquor? Who made the malt liquor? The way he gets the idea that it was okay to drink it anyway. You know, I'm just a single mom fighting for her grandchildren and her sons. And I'm all with get the gun, get training. Matter of fact, I already got it. Like my son said, blue power, red power, green power. Well, I'm in the hood, I know what that means. I'm shooting something that goes through concrete. Because I know one day, it's going to be that day. Because nothing under the sun is new. But to educate one's mind, that's how I want to fight. But if it comes down to it, stick black clouds on my back. Because I'm not scared to kick a door in or fight for the liberty of my children, my men, sons, and daughters. So the talk is good. It sounds real good. But what you really gonna do?
Who's the president?
president of this organization is el-amin. This is an organization that's been around since 1993. And what started it was years ago, a young man was murdered on the corner of 4th and Walker. It happened to be a friend, he happened to be the son of a friend of el-amin. So we talked to his mother. Someone came by the corner, shot him and killed him. So we talked to his mother and we asked his mother why. She said it was just senseless. So we organized at that time just a grassroots effort to try to find out who did it. We put wanted posters up all around the
In the community.
in the community. Yeah, we put wanted posters.
Well, let me ask you a question. You heard about Black Lives Matter?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay, well, I can't understand. I'm for Black Lives Matter. Black people killing each other in the black community, but a lot of black people marching in the white community. Why don't black people go to the black community where these people are killed and tell the people that's killing that Black Lives Matter?
They should.
That's what I don't understand.
Yes, we should do that. And you know, sometimes we make improper movements, but as the movement itself develops, I think that all of those areas that need to be addressed, because I believe these people are really sincere. Black lives do matter.
All
And
lives matter.
all lives matter. But you know, I heard one person put it like this. He said, if a man goes to a doctor and he got a broken arm, and he goes to the doctor and he says, "Doc, my arm is broke. This bone is broken." The doctor might say, "Well, all bones matter." But he would say, "Well, this one is the one that's broke, so I want you to attend to this one." Now, the ones who have been killed in our communities are African Americans, primarily males between the age of 25 and 32 or 33 years old. Now, if we continue to kill each other, we won't have fathers and husbands for the future generation. These are the ones who are supposed to be the most productive. They're at the most productive time in their life, but yet they're ending up in hospitals, ending up in cemeteries.
But why?
ending
But
up in prisons.
why is it? Why is it?
Senseless. Because
why is it?
senseless killing is one of them. But I'll say this, Mr. Chase, one of the reasons is there are influences that are coming into our society, and those influences are making us act like brutes and savages. Messages that's coming to us through TV, media, other publications, and what we condone and what we permit, it has an impact, and that impact has made us act like brutes, savages, and beasts.
Okay. You know, you can change the station, the radio, TV, or what have you. Okay. Quite a few people have been on this TV program. Jews, blacks, whites. It doesn't make a difference if it's about God or godly family. What I'm concerned about is that the casket you got out here, I did a program like this back in 1996 and 95. Had people come out, but so many people, blacks were killing blacks back then. I'm tired of it. But what I'm concerned about, we have an image, we portray an image to be violent on purpose. We walk around with our ass out, we cussing, we disrespecting ourselves, disrespecting the young girls. We nothing what Martin Luther King wanted us to be. Now, you got a race that's killing itself. Other people look at the race. If you don't give a damn about yourself, why should anybody else care? Shouldn't we start with the black community, a change within? You said that all this stuff is coming into the community. A lot of this stuff, we creating it, taking it out of the community. Don't you think we better if we address that too and free the white man? Sometime he ain't guilty for everything.
Yes, well, I'm not blaming white. I'm not blaming any ethnic groups. What I'm blaming is messages that are covenant, messages that carry dangerous suggestions to our communities, and they're being accepted by us. See, one time thug life was being promoted.
Exactly.
Yeah, gangster life was being promoted. But thug life and gangster life is killing our lives.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, we want our children to have a better future. And they can have a better future, but we have to change the way we think. We have to change the way I think. Those individuals who are in the community now who committing crimes, if they see a better alternative and they see that it's coming from a sincere place, perhaps they might change the way they're thinking and doing and acting. But we have to be sincere, and it has to be on every level. It just can't be on the bottom level, it has to be on every level. One life, one family, one humanity. Say it now. One life, one family, one humanity.
One humanity.
One life, one family, one humanity. Say it now. One life, one family, one humanity.
One humanity.
One life, humanity. Say it now. One life, one family, one humanity.
One humanity.
One life.
Alright, watch step.
One life, one family, one humanity. Say it now. One life, one family, one humanity.
One humanity.
One life, one family, one humanity. Say it now. One life, one family, one humanity.
One humanity.
One life, one family, one humanity. Say it now. One life, one family, one humanity.
One humanity.
One life, one family, one humanity. Say it now. One life, one family, one humanity.
One humanity.
One life.
About one of the problems, especially what I find with what we may call African American people, is our lack of trust and love for one another. And being the author of My True Sense, we wrote a revision of the Willie Lynch letter saying that how we need to reverse everything that has been done. So until we can bring back the trust, the love, and the loyalty for one another, not to mention all of the other things that are systematic that's going on within the system to bring us into the conditions that we are in so far, whether you want to, pull out things to blame such as television, games, lead, a lot of things that take place to make us do some of the things that we may be doing as a people right now that at one time were unheard of amongst ourselves as a people, especially being mostly loving people, having a lovable nature towards one another. But now it seems that we have been infected with a disease, and so far as doing experiments on animals, now it's like the experiment is on the people, and to seeing how they will react to certain things by putting drugs and other things into the community, not to mention the vaccinations and all the things that plague us today. So until we learn how to retract and do and focus on some of the things that we need to do for self and do for self, then we will begin to combat those things that are plaguing us as a people by beginning to love one another as sisters and people in general more. Thank you.
The problem with the violence is that our foundation is weak. We have to rebuild. There are so many things that are missing, things that were developing around the 60s, but were lost around the time of integration for several different reasons. I'm not anti-integration, but I understand what it did. We no longer have a strong bond, and that's where the lack of trust comes in, and that's where the lack of sensitivity to someone else's pain comes in. The feeling of abandonment that I see in the youth as a activist in the community, as a teacher, I see all these things. I think it's time for us to hold hands and to not let go. As we were speaking earlier about the breakdown in communication from generation to generation, that's important. What she was saying was, I may not be able to hear what you're saying, you may not be able to hear what I'm saying, but we have to work so that we can hear each other, understand each other, communicate with each other, and move accordingly on one accord. I also think that senseless divisions have to end on every level. We have to provide things to our children that they need. One reason that I left the public school system is because our children are not getting all that they need. Maybe a third, and that's not enough. And it's not enough for me to serve in that way. So those are basically my thoughts on the source of violence.
I think that people that's doing these senseless killings, I feel like they're weak. They're weak. They followers. And maybe if we create some more programs or whatever to make them understand what they doing, it just don't make no sense, and it's stupid to keep killing one another. But once police kill one of us, it's a big deal. But they feel nothing when they kill one another.
First, what has to be done is, in order to say what can women do, women have to first band together and define what they feel womanhood is, and then aspire to be strong women, aspire to be women who uplift their community, women who are more than willing to reach out and ask for the help of the men of the community as well, and not feel that we have to separate in order to do that.
That one of the major things that I found with women is that we need healing too in so many areas. So many areas that we need healing. And one thing that I'm finding today is our lack of unifying together for whatever reasons, whether we have dislikes for one another or the jealousies or all the things that shouldn't be. We all have a common problem. But we don't want to seem to unite around that.
We compete as opposed to that, and really we're the same. We face the same problems, yet we're not viewing each other as the same person.
More as we as women look at one another and know that you are my sister, I am you, you are me, we are one another, then we can begin to do those things collectively that women can do and really empower ourselves. When we take out all those other things that keep us separated. And then a lot of times we find, especially when we bring men in the picture, we got some more trouble.
Right, and we have to stop that. We have to stop that. Because we women are very powerful. We're very powerful, and we need to know it. And we need to know that we're even more powerful once we band together. So I think that there's a great need for a unification of women, a healing circle. Talk to the girls. I've started several mentoring programs because I understand that it's important that we communicate and that we hear each other's pain, so that we can see, you know what, you are just like me in so many different ways. You know what, I'm not going to be hard on you because we are experiencing the same thing in so many different fashions.
Yeah, and I'd like to give a shout out to Queen Afua and her wonderful book, Sacred Women, that teaches us how to do those sister circles and all the things that we as women may have lost along the way, how to find ourselves again, you know. And I think one thing for the women is sometimes we don't want to, or our men to feel like we're trying to step over them or on top of them, but it's important for us to walk beside one another. It's that nobody's trying to lead or be a leader per se of anybody, but we just want to connect together and walk together. I think once we begin to realize that that's all we're saying, that's all, just walk with me. You know, you ain't gotta walk behind me or way back yonder or whatever. Let's walk together. You know, and that reminds me of my sister Nataki shares a wonderful story about the Ubuntu children, how they were told to race to this tree of fruit. And instead of them running, they all joined hands and walked together. And the moral of the story was, it would be too much for just one to share, and they could, when they all could partake of it.
Right.
So we could really learn so much from our African proverbs and so many other proverbs that we may have lost.
And this right here is important to me. I didn't know that story. This is an example, you know, okay, you're done. But this is an example to me of what you're imparting knowledge to me and wisdom to me. And I'm going to take that, I'm going to impart it to her.
That's right.
This is Judge Joe Brown, and I want you to know I'm strongly behind the Commission Against Senseless Killing. This has got to stop.
We just honor roll student. You can't walk with us. We just gonna walk down through there and come back. He gonna be with us if he feels like it. He'll be loaded up. But you'll be loaded up. You'll hold him off the line, hold the line back.
He likes football.
All right. So Walter, can you give me a little help? Yes, come on in. Give me some help then. Thank you. Thank you. Roger. He smiled. All right. Hey, how you doing? Walter, you with me? I got you. Want one? You want one? You gonna walk? You gonna walk? Yeah. All right, now you got to roll it up. Turn the sign around. The sign got to be like this. All right, y'all. Oh, we got the flag. We got flyers. We got some flyers. Yeah, let's spread ourselves out. We got some other information. Come on in. All right, let's do that, thank you, Miss Robin. You doing all right? Okay, everybody else need some flyers? Get some food. Everybody that got some flyers got them? I don't. You can put y'all keep it up. Y'all just keep it up. Y'all going with us?
I got a pepper. That's the same. Excuse me, may he please have a peppermint?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna go there and take pictures with you.
One life, one family, one humanity. Say it now. One life, one family, one humanity. One life, one family, one humanity. One life, one family, one humanity.
One life, one family.
One life, one family, one humanity.
Y'all left one.
There you go.
Y'all left one.
One humanity. One
life, one family, one humanity. One life, one family, one humanity. One life, one family. One life, one family, one humanity. One life, one family, one humanity. One life, one family, one humanity.
You know, one of my teachers had expressed this to me. He used a word, and the word he used was cater. C-A-T-E-R. You know, when you cater something to somebody, you do what? You give them something. So I'm here today to cater. Cater, being able to communicate, appreciate what Almighty God gives to you because God done gave us something. Trust what Almighty God gives to us because God don't make no mistakes. E, display an earnest effort. Repeat the process and you'll be real successful. I did 21 years. This brother here, I represented people at the parole board for 11 straight years. They know about me in every penitentiary there is in the state of Tennessee. I didn't do them like no hoe either. I didn't scratch my head where I didn't itch. I didn't make no deals, I was a deal breaker. You know, brother here stuck with me 21 years. Salute el-amin stuck with me 21 years. What we got to do, we got to realize what the problem is. Teaching started home and spread it abroad. I wrote something to go like this here. It says, dedicated to the people from all walks of life, to the ones who await for the Creator to execute vengeance against evildoers, to the ones who love life and want to be spared. The truth must be heard everywhere, along with being shared. If the truth hurt your feelings will be hurt over and over. That's the way it's meant to be. Open wide. I know the truth lies inside. You have help on your side. It's up to you to decide. If you do, you will have a guide. There will be a time and it won't be long. Everything is out of its place should be where it belongs. It's things we're going to do. For number one, that is a God, and we damn sure not that. You know. And another thing, we're going to live and we're going to die. Ain't no ifs, ands, and no buts. Everybody got a number, everybody got a date, and we damn sure ain't going to be late. Just express it just like it's plain and simple. I've been cross country. I done had what a whole lot of people never have in life. But I'm giving something back. I don't care about the materialistic things. What I care about is the men, the women, the children, but we got responsibility. We got to go to the community. If you're scared, move on out the way, because we're not. And it's any means necessary that we're going to take care of our business. As simple as that. And that's the way it is. Okay? Knowledge, it come in piles, okay? It's what you know and what somebody else knows. It's either good or bad. It make you happy or sad. It's either negative or positive. When a person talks to you, what you can do, you ask yourself this. Is this good or bad? Will it make you happy or sad? It's negative because you already got the answer. We got responsibility.
I'm el-amin, Chairman of Commission Against Senseless Killings. 9 months have passed since Commission Against Senseless Killings launched its Don't Kill, Think, Ground campaign. We've held demonstrations on 7 of our cities' most traveled street corners, like Winchester and Kirby Parkway, Frazier Boulevard and Watkins, 3rd and Brooks Road, Lamar and Pendleton, Elvis Presley and Raines, Austin P. and Yale, and the Hillview Apartments on Elsa Road. We started this campaign on April the 2nd in Victims of Violent Crimes Park. As of today, I consider our efforts a success, but we have a long ways to go. First things are first. Alongside our ground campaign, we built and launched www.commissionagainstsenselesskillings.com. I'm proud of our website. There you could stay abreast of our current activities and take part in our crime fighting efforts by utilizing our website tools like Shots Fired, Neighborhood Intel, Neighborhood Investigator, Neighborhood Patrol, and the Family Wall. Visit Cass's website and learn how you could help in this very important battle for our peace, safety, and civility. Please understand, we cannot do it alone. Let's come together and organize so that we can bring about the communities and neighborhoods we so desperately want, deserve, and need. Today, our families and children aren't safe. They're victimized in all aspects of social life. But one good thing is, the safest place to be is on a job. During our 2017 campaign, we would encourage our political leaders to do more to bring jobs to our young people as a tactic to drive down crime and violence. We will continue our present efforts, but we'll add on community discussions and debates that would be designed to bring us closer as families and friends, sharing in these most difficult times. I would like to thank everyone who took part in making our 2016 campaign a success. And I would like to thank those who would have helped but couldn't for various reasons. I would like to also ask God Almighty to bless the victims of senseless acts of violence and our city. Once again, thank you.
One life, one family.